Hey, my name's ShawNshawN. I do art on ShawNshawN.co and specials on eBay. Today we're going to review Men in Black International. So this is kind of a follow-up of the original 90s films with Men in Black. The original had kind of Will Smith paired up with Tommy Lee Jones. And so it was really kind of a fun mix between, the really comedian, maverick kind of view of Will Smith's character versus the really dry, cynical Tommy Lee Jones. So it has a really kind of fun chemistry there. All the story kind of makes sense. So this movie is Agent M. She's a small child. Her family witnesses, her mom and dad witness a Men in Black event, and she witnesses it, but they don't zap her. So she knows about the Men in Black, and so she kind of works her way in, finds out where they're at, and sneaks into the organization. And they say, okay, we'll make you an agent, which I know that's a little bit weak. I missed the beginning, so I can't swear. Maybe they made her super disciplined, but that's kind of a stupid reason to let someone in the MIB. Like, they're supposed to be the best cops in the FBI or something, right? She just like...
Well, she found her way into MIB. I guess she's good enough.
So it kind of starts off with a little bit weak there. And then she gets paired up with Agent H. Kind of this maverick, kind of replacement for Will Smith, I guess. He plays Thor before, Chris Hemsworth. And he's kind of this goofy guy. He's been there a long time. He likes to work alone. But for whatever reason, he just accepts her to go along with him. So, the writing doesn't make any sense there. So they're supposed to tail this alien. They're supposed to protect this guy at a nightclub. And they're trying to, protect him. And then these two aliens show up and zap him and kill him, right? Well, they chase him out to the street. They get to the street. They zap his car. He's about ready to die. And he hands off this little diamond thing, which is very similar to the plot line of Men in Black, the original, where they had this little thing and it was a whole galaxy inside this thing. And this time it's this whole super weapon inside this little thing, which doesn't make any sense, but it's Men in Black. No one cares. They suspect there might be a mole inside of Men in Black. And this Agent C, who's this really annoying non-field agent, he's kind of one of the real side characters. And he's always investigating, suspicious of Agent H. And he's like, oh, they're up to no good. They didn't turn in the evidence. And he reports it to his boss. And his boss is like, yeah, bring him straight to me. And so they go through a series of adventures. And they eventually get the bad guy, these two aliens. And everything's at peace. But then there's kind of a nice twist. And then they find out the real bad guy in the end happens to be the mole, MIB, which they had suspected all along. So it has kind of a nice murder mystery story element to it. The real issue is there doesn't make any sense, the relationship between Agent M and Agent H. I don't know if Tessa Thompson was miscast. It's really weird too because she's really short compared to him. So they give her like platform heels and you run around MIB. Oh, I got platform heels. Like, that doesn't make any damn sense, dude. I know it's the movie, but it totally doesn't make sense. She's like a normal height for actor, which is usually in the 5 feet range. Actors are usually shorter. And so it's really hard to pair Chris with, this really short distance. So they try to make her so they're eye level, make up for like adding like this much platform. And it's really, bad. I mean, you could do this in the old days. Like they used to put someone in a hole and then someone to be on the stand. And as long as you didn't shoot their feet, you wouldn't know. But now they have these shots where you're looking straight up and there's no way to lie about the height. So they try to make these shoes so it doesn't look like she's really short. It's kind of goofy, I think. So in that way, I think, height-wise, it doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense that they be paired together or just pair them with the normal height, But then they'd be talking like this. There's couples like that, but it just looks so strange in reality. So that's why they try to make it more just a little bit shorter than him. But, I mean, it still could have worked. The thing is, there's no chemistry. I don't know if they shot all the scenes wrong with her or... they just didn't like each other as persons, so there was no chemistry there. And so on set, it just comes off on camera. Chris generally comes off pretty funny. It's not a well shot as, like, say, a Marvel movie. So, between the writer and I think partially the director. I mean, the director definitely for miscasting, these two together. There's no chemistry between them, so why are they put together? And in the story itself, the reason they come together doesn't even make sense. Like, he's like the sole operator, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, I'll take you along with me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They really didn't put any thought level to a lot of how the element in the story progresses, especially with the mole. It makes sense in the end, I think, but yeah, that just kind of... It's just weak all around, I'd say, in story elements. I mean, the writing, I just think, is kind of piss poor. What they do get right here is it does feel like MIB. You got the costumes, you got the music, You got some of the same camera shots. So a lot of the camera shots, I think the camera shots is fine in this film. Color is fine. You know, it's just shot like a normal Hollywood film. It's nothing like special sci-fi colors or anything. But it's definitely like color grading wise fine, lighting's fine. But yeah, if your two main characters, the chemistry doesn't make sense. The storyline between them doesn't make sense. The writing between them doesn't always make sense. Like, for some reason it doesn't work. You know, I mean, this is really bad for Tessa Thompson because they're probably going to blame this on her. But really, it's just bad writing. I mean, the reason why he gets together with her doesn't even make any sense. Then he's not falling for her, and there's no chemistry there. So it's just, you know, there should have been some kind of weird love story element, which I think they got across in the first one with the doctor kind of falling for Will Smith's character and being, oh, he's super hot and everything. I mean, it's kind of goofy. It's more 90s culture. I think the culture's kind of moved on from there, and people expect women to be a little smarter, more intelligent. And she does come off a little more smarter, intelligent, but there's the lines, they're just bad writing, I think. These are just cheeseball lines, and it is kind of a cheeseball movie. Everyone knows Men in Black just isn't really serious. It doesn't take itself seriously. So they keep that element, but it just, you know, if the writing and the story kind of doesn't make sense, the whole thing kind of falls apart in a way. Yeah, it's just, yeah, they kind of screwed up on this film, I think. Time-wise, it's okay. Story-wise, it's fine. A lot of the story is fine. I mean, it has this classical, like, chase them down, chase down the bad guys, and then twists and turns, and the end there's this really nice counter twist. So I think they do that fine. I missed the beginning, so I can't evaluate if that was piss poor or not, which I really pissed off because of stupid traffic. But I got to see a fist fight. Someone, this guy stops and they didn't hit each other. The guy gets like, what the fuck? And the other guy's like, oh, you want to go to fight? And then they start boxing. You're like, dude, it's traffic jam, dude. Why the hell do you take it so seriously? Like, if it doesn't hit your car, who gives a shit, you know? But who knows? Maybe they're raging before each other, chasing it. Who knows? It was a funny story going to see this movie. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely like has a lot of the Hollywood thing, but I would just skip this. Watch this on DVD, guys. Doesn't, you know, they put a lot into it, but they just fucked up on the major elements, the two main characters, and some of the writings. Like, you know, the writer should have been fired from this. And the director, too, for miscasting these people. It's like, dude, there's no chemistry between these two actors, or the lines are written wrong from, I don't know, it doesn't come together, man. And I feel bad because Chris Hemsworth's definitely a good actor. Tessa Thompson, I'm not sure if she's a good actor. The other side characters were great, you know, like Liam Neeson is the head agent, then later he has a turn in his role. And the other agent in America, that all makes sense. And it just doesn't make sense in England. But again, I missed the beginning, so maybe the beginning would have told everything and everything would fit together. But you know, midway through the floor, it just doesn't work. Yeah, it's just, you know, you got to make sure every single part fits together and makes sense why they're together. Otherwise, you're like, hey, I'm just going to choose a side, buddy. I worked alone. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the film. Hopefully you like my recommendation. Save your money. Don't go to this. See this on DVD rental. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next movie review. Thanks for watching, guys.